Hey everybody, Rob Cootie here. Sorry I'm running a little bit late. Things have been crazy here this morning. And I apologize for things not getting off on the right step, but we'll be with you in a moment. Marie and I are here. We're not having any technical difficulties, just trying to get organized here real quick. Bear with us for a moment, please.
Welcome to the MLM Solution Podcast Show, where you'll learn the facts and hear the truth about the network marketing industry. Here's your host, Rob Cootie.
Hey there, Miss Marie. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Rob. I am doing well. How are you?
Oh, I'm running a little bit behind. Things are
Well, that's okay. I see you got the memo about wearing red today.
Oh
So,
my gosh. Well, actually, this is salmon, but boy, it sure looks red, doesn't it? Man, I tell you what, you and I, this is scary. We got to stop this stuff. People are going to talk. Well, we certainly missed you yesterday, Miss Marie. I was telling the wife how it was Monday. Technical difficulties. We seem to have more Mondays lately with technical difficulties. But I don't know if you had a chance to kind of look at the video in the beginning, but it was nothing more than you were freezing up, and your voice was
well, that was my electronic rap version. Did you not enjoy that?
Well, I did, but I didn't think other people would find that funny. But I totally got it. But anyway, I could tell by your reaction at your end, you didn't even know what was going on. But,
nope, I did not.
Yeah, and it's working great today. So who frickin' knows? It's 2020, Miss Marie.
Got that right. Just a couple more months left to go. Everybody hang on.
Everybody hang on. That's right. Everybody's making an all-out race, a sprint towards December 31st. Please get this over with. So, yeah. All right, guys. It's November 3rd, as if you didn't know that already. It's November. It's 11:03 a.m. on November 3rd, Eastern Standard Time. We're a little bit late, but the bells just on the church just went off. So either my computer's wrong or the church is wrong. In today's, in this year, 2020, I wouldn't be surprised if they're both wrong. So something's not right. But Miss Marie, I got up this morning. I feel good. I have plenty of energy, which is unusual because, as you know, I'm not able to sleep like a normal person because of my arm, et cetera, et cetera. And the thing is that I got up this morning feeling great, and I actually got to use my arm this morning. I got to button up my own shirt. I got to zip my own pants. That's an accomplishment.
Well, congratulations.
I know, and I was able to make a fist. I was major accomplishments today. The wife clapped. She gave me a standing O.
Yeah. Good progress. Good progress.
Well, it's short-lived, but at least I did it. My arm actually felt normal this morning, as normal as it could be. But it's felt more normal this morning than it has in months. So I am tickled pink with the progress. Well, so I thought I'd share that little bit with you. But been super busy this morning. I look forward to today's topic. We had a good show yesterday. I'll be honest with you. It threw me for a loop a little bit. It took me a little bit to get in the groove, but once I did, I ran with it. Went a little bit longer than what I really wanted to, but I cut it out as fast as I could, and still got the point across. So you were deeply missed, that's for sure. You keep me on track, and but I think I did really well, especially towards the tail end of that. So that being said, today, guys, as you can see, this is podcast number 71, and it's talking about looking for your leaders. And that can have so many implications. And we're going to talk about those different implications in today's show. For instance, looking for leaders out in the field. We're going to lightly touch on that because we have episodes that are totally dedicated to that. But we're going to touch on it because it is relevant to today's subject. But really what this subject is about, because you're looking for leaders through the whole process. The essence of the business is always what? Leaders. You're sifting through people looking for leaders. The music to the ears message, or the message you're using, is going to do one or two things: attract leaders to you or push them away. That's what it's designed to do. So all that being said, the reason I bring it up, in today's episode, we're going to touch on the different phases of the business building process and how it either attracts or pushes away the leaders. And of course, it will attract the leaders you want, but once they're in your business and you'll log into your back office, which we talked about yesterday. What was that? If you missed yesterday's episode, you need to go and look at it, because it was about how to read the numbers in your back office, okay, and the importance of them and the impact they have on your business. They're huge. You got to be able to read the numbers in the back office, right, Miss Marie?
It is an important topic, and I'm sorry I missed out on our broadcast yesterday, but absolutely encourage people, if you haven't heard that one, seen that one, go back and check it out. Definitely worthwhile.
Absolutely. And the thing is that the last half of the show was really good. Not saying the first part wasn't, because Miss Marie, as you know, sometimes I have to lay the foundation in the beginning of the show so that I can build on the topic and close it out in a proper manner, because the foundation is just as important as the topic that we're going to address in that particular episode. And yesterday was certainly one of those cases. I had to lay the foundation and then build on top of that in regards to what you see in a back office, because it's so relevant. It's so powerful. As I told them as I closed yesterday, Miss Marie, people just go in and look at the volume and see how much they're going to get paid. That's what most people do. You know, they don't look to see if their new person got placed in the right leg. You know, maybe it got placed in the wrong leg and it was a mistake by the company. I don't want to go down that road. You get my point. Other people look in there and don't have a clue what to look at. They don't have a clue what the numbers are jumping out at them, you know, and what it's telling them. Why am I touching on that today? Well, because yesterday's episode certainly ties into today's. And I want you guys to understand the importance of it, and that some of that I just covered is going to lead us into our topic of today. Because now you're going to be logging in your back office looking for leaders. Miss Marie and I did an episode a long time ago. I can't remember what episode it is off the top of my head. Scale of ambition. And we talked about how you use the scale of ambition to identify potential leaders. We also talked about the music to the ears message, how that attracts high quality people used to success to you and your business opportunity. And remember, you're bringing to these people, these high achieving people, these high quality prospects, you're bringing to the table for them an opportunity for them to better their life, whether that's through money, more time freedom, or a better lifestyle. That is what you are laying at their feet. Your job is to deliver the message, the music to the ears message, in a way that it clearly defines what you're offering them. And that is an opportunity. And the opportunity is to join this company at the right time, where 70% of the growth takes place and where 70% of the wealth is created, which once again ties into what we're talking about today. I have to preface this subject today with these important highlights, because of the fact is, as you'll see as we go through today's episode, how it relates to looking for your leaders in your back office, okay? And there's different type of leaders. You have to understand that. We always focus, Miss Marie, on the big business builders. And the reason that we do that, guys, is not because well, number one, that's our mindset, Miss Marina. That's the reason why we automatically default to that level. But also our experience tells us, go for the gusto, shoot for the moon, because most of you are not going to make it to the moon, okay? Which is not a bad thing. We're not saying you're a failure. We're not saying that's bad. What we're saying is some of you are going to stop along the way. We also had an episode called The Scale of Life, where everybody has a stop number. It's just a fact of life. And some of you are going to stop at $1,000 a month. Some of you are going to stop at $800 a month. Some of you are going to stop at $1,500 a month, $3,000, whatever. Everybody has a comfort level, Miss Marie, as you know, our experience has shown this, with the number of hours they're applying to the business on a daily level, the lifestyle that they create with that additional income, and they say, you know, this is really nice. I like it here, right?
That's accurate. Everybody's a little bit different. Everybody has a different level of success that they're looking to achieve. And my definition of success may not be yours, may not be Rob's, and you have to work within the confines of where people are in their business and in their goals.
And embrace them, right? We did an episode on let the fives be the best fives they can ever be, right? Don't try to change a 5 into a 10. Remember that episode? Really important, really. And it does apply to this too. You can't take a 5 and try to make them a 10, which is a top-notch leader. There's no such thing as a 10. But the point is that we talk about that in that episode, okay? And the thing is that you have to accept everybody for where they determine is the best point for them, okay? Because remember, guys, 97% of the people in your business are not going to turn out to be big leaders. That is okay. That is what your business is supposed to do, right, Miss Marie?
Yep. You got to work the numbers. They're the same all the time.
All the time. And you embrace the 97%ers, Miss Marie, because that encompasses what? Small businesses, retail businesses, customers, medium-sized businesses. The 3%, guys, is the cream of the crop, okay? So always remember, it doesn't mean that only 3% of the people come into network marketing do anything. And that might be true. I'd have to go back and look, but that's not the point. That's not what we're talking about. The people that you sponsor are only 3%. If you look at your total business and nobody's quitting, there's nobody dropping out, and you look at your business, you're still going to have 97.3 or 99.5. Why? Because that's life. That's the way it works. Only 3 to 5% of the people are going to do what it takes to achieve the highest level. Okay, that's true in just about any industry. It's not going to be any different here. Why? Because it's life. Life overrides everything. Human nature overrides everything. Human habits override everything. These numbers rarely change, okay? And matter of fact, we're being gracious by saying it can be 5% instead of 3%, because it doesn't always work out to be 3%. There's times where it's 3.2, 3.8, and et cetera. But the point is, between 3 to 5% of your people are going to be the cream of the crop. And we're going to talk about those people today in this episode when you log into your back office. Once again, we're laying a foundation for the show so that you understand how all these different types of leaders during the different business building phases, you have to be in tune with those leaders, okay? Because their needs are different, okay? And you have to be in tune with because they are your bread and butter. And they're totally different than the medium-sized people, the small business people, et cetera, okay? So with that being said, Miss Marie, I think we laid a good enough foundation where we could take off from the show from here. Don't you agree?
I do. Ready to dig in. Let's go.
All right. Ready to dig in. Okay, guys. All right. So let's say that you yourself are building the business. Okay. Whenever we bring up examples, we're always in our minds, and hopefully we have relayed this verbally to you as well, so that you have a mental picture that Robert or Marie, whoever we use in the example, is actively building a business. We're not sitting around dictating, managing, none of that, okay? When we're talking about these examples, please envision in your head that Marie or myself are actively and aggressively building the business, utilizing all the tactics we have shared with you in these episodes, okay? So that being said, when Miss Marie and I log into our back offices, not only, as we talked about in yesterday's episode, are we looking for the numbers, because the numbers will tell us a story. They'll tell us our weak points. They'll tell us where, and Miss Marie, I really highlighted, and I know you're familiar with this, about who's doing the 100 PV and who's not in the different scenarios where the reasons why they are or are not, and how to address those. But one of the first things, Miss Marie and I, the first thing you're going to look at when you log in your back office, and this part of yesterday's episode falls into this category as well in this episode, because your people, in order to qualify as a leader, is they have to be doing 100 PV per month. Okay, so the first thing Miss Marie and I look at when we log in, and we'll see these businesses. One's got 5,000 group volume, another one's got 3,000 group volume, another one's got 11,000 group volume. Sure, Miss Marie and I's eyes will focus in on those numbers because they're big. But what we'll do is scan over it and immediately look, and we'll ignore the group volume and immediately scan over to see what personal volume they're doing. Guys, if they're not doing 100 PV, they're not a leader. Oh my gosh, you're kidding me. Shoot Rob right now. he is full of crap. Shoot him, hit him over the head with a baseball bat. He's full of crap. No, they're not a leader. Okay, here's why. When you're not doing 100 PV per month, you're not only hurting yourself, you're hurting your downline, you're setting the wrong example. Duplication is taking place, but it's taking place in a bad way. Why? Because Miss Marie is doing the 100 PV per month. Okay, she's teaching her downline. She got off on the right step. Her people are profitable. They're making money. They're motivated. They're focused. They're having fun. They're laughing. They're aggressively moving towards their goals. And there's very few retention problems with Miss Marie's business. On the other hand, Rob is not doing 100 PV per month. And Rob is building a business out of sheer determination, sheer effort. I'm putting in a lot more effort and time than Miss Marie. I don't know it at this moment, even though we're wearing the same shirts. I don't know that because of the fact is that Miss Marie and I don't talk. We're business builders. We're out there doing what we're supposed to be doing. And then when we do get together and we compare notes, because this does happen sometimes when professionals get together, and you look at each other's businesses and say, Marie, do you see anything? Can you look my business over and see if you see anything that I might be missing? Okay, and sometimes that happens, believe it or not, at events. Okay, we'll log in each other's back offices or talk or look at printouts because smart people have other people, help them evaluate their business, whether it's network marketing business, whatever. Hey, this is what I'm doing. Do you think I'm doing this right? Do you think I need to do this differently? Whatever the case may be. So Ms. Marie looks at and says, Rob, I see you're not doing 100 PV, and I see a lot of your people aren't either. And you know what, Rob, it looks like you've got 2 times the number of people in your business than I do. Yet I'm a diamond and you're an emerald. And that'd be like, oh, shit. Why is that? Because you're not using the 100 PV. I'm working twice as hard because my business is twice as big as hers, and I'm not even making the same volume. I don't even have the same pin level. I'm not even getting the same bonuses. Why? Because I'm not doing 100 PV. Now, this show is not about the threshold of profitability. It's about what? Identifying leaders. Okay? So I use that example because I want you to know the importance of making sure that you look at the 100 PV first and foremost, because I don't care that Rob has 3,000 people in his business compared to Miss Marie's 1,500. He's not a leader. Why? Because he's going to have retention problems in his business. People are going to quit. Top-notch people are not going to stick around making pennies on the dollar, and that's exactly what's going to happen. They're going to be working their tail ends off, putting a lot of hours in, maybe jeopardizing the hours they're putting into their professional job, maybe putting their reputation on line, and when they're making pennies on the dollar, it's not enough justification for that. Okay? The reputation is too important to them. Okay? The number of hours they're taking away from the family to put into a business that's paying pennies on the dollar is not important enough to them. They're making great money already. The money's not the issue. They want time freedom and they want the better lifestyle. Okay, they're already making the money. They just don't have a life. They don't have a great lifestyle. So now Rob has jeopardized his future, the stability of his business, and the profitability of my business because Miss Marie's making money hand over fist. She's qualified for all the bonuses and the trips, and I'm not because she's building it right with the threshold of profitability, and I'm not. So I have a retention problem trying to keep my top-notch business builders who are leaving. And so what happens? My volume takes a hit. My business stability takes a hit. And I have to constantly work my tail end off trying to find another leader. And boy, that is hard to do, folks. Do you realize how many people I have to sponsor to hope and pray that I can find another leader to replace one that just left? Okay. Here's what it is. I'll tell you. You're basically going to have to sponsor 10 or 11 people to find 2 because the 80-20 rule applies. Okay. So that means if I lose one person, I got to sponsor 10 more and cross my fingers, my legs, my eyes, and my tongue and everything else, hoping and praying that one of those new 10 people are going to turn out to be as good as the person that just left. Okay. So the first thing you want to look at when you log into your back office is 100 PV. Is that person that has this huge volume going on, are they doing 100 PV? And then once you see if they are or are not, let's say that they are not, in this example, we'll stick with that. What is Miss Marie going to do? She's going to look to see who in Rob's organization is doing 100 PV. Okay, there may be a few people here and there, but she's going to look at the overall numbers. Why? Because it gives her a clear indication of what the health is of that particular business. Okay, she knows there's going to be a retention problem. She knows there's going to be a profitability problem. She knows there's going to be a lack of success stories that Rob can promote that create excitement in his business. There's not a lot of good that comes out of not doing 100 PV. So they're not a leader because they can't promote their success stories. If they do, they're this instead of this. Miss Marie's got a plethora of success stories that she can promote to her downline. Rob's just got a few. And when you do one success story every other week, or maybe one every 3 weeks, I can't create that excitement, that momentum in my business with one success story after another. Miss Marie's coming out with a new success story almost every week, maybe once every 5 days. Okay, different couple, different success story. So she's got a lot of momentum, a lot of excitement, and that those success stories that Miss Marie puts on her website or she talks about on their Zoom calls and has these people on her Zoom calls, these people motivate her downline. What is she doing? She's a leader. Okay, so it all starts with that 100 PV. If Rob is doing 100 PV, but his downline's not doing 100 PV, that says that Rob gets it, but Rob has not stressed the importance of his downline doing 100 PV. Is Rob a leader? Well, he's doing 100 PV per month. No, he's not a leader. Why? Because he's not verbalizing, he's not enforcing, Miss Marie, what happens is when people have an organization where Rob's doing 100 PV, but his downline's not, they're not verbalizing. And some people are shy. They don't want to be forced. Oh, I don't want to push that off on them. You know what I'm saying? They're not being a leader, right?
Well, we have a tendency sometimes to want to be nice and allow people to do what they're able to do. And you're going to have business builders, partners come into your organization that are going to say, I can't do 100 PV right now. And your job as a leader is to explain to them why they want to do that 100 personal volume every month. It's leading by example. It's the way you generate the income. It's the way you create those success stories. And nothing drives motivation in your organization like seeing others succeed. Because it's one thing to have the guy at the top of the organization, Mr. Rob Cootie's doing great. Well, that's fantastic. He's got all this experience and has been involved for a long time. But what about the people that are coming in? What about the people like me that just started within the last month, 2, 3 or so? Yeah. Are they having success as well? And those are the stories that really get people going and motivated.
That's right. Absolutely. She added that valuable input right on spot. And the point is, guys, in this example, Rob's doing 100 PV, but he's not teaching it to his downline. It's because Rob's not being a leader, as she just said. I don't have the balls to stand up and say, hey, you've got to do 100 PV. Here's why. Maybe eat 3 less pizzas. Maybe go to 3 less movies. Maybe drop this, drop that. Find a way to loosen up some money, because you make the money. It's just how you're spending it, to redirect that money from the pizzas and the movies to your business. Okay. Just do it for 3 months and see what happens. If it doesn't work out, you can go back to your pizzas and your movies. Okay. So the bottom line is, guys, is that, and people saying, well, I can't afford to do that. In most cases, it's not in every case, that is not actually factual. So as a leader, you just say, hey, you know what? You got to find a way, maybe go to a few less movies. I just touched on that. But that's how Rob would say, hey, well, I understand. Been there myself. Here's how I overcame it. I would use my own example of my own life instead of kind of bam over the head with a mallet, okay, and telling them, no, you got to do it. I would show them how I overcame that same challenge, all right? But I would stress the importance of them doing 100 PV. Here's why. You got to show people why they need to do it 100 PV. Okay, so enough of that. But the point is, in this example, we had 2 examples so far. One, Rob's not doing 100 PV per month, and neither is his downline. That's not a leader. I don't care if I have 3,000 people in my business. Miss Marie, when you have 3,000 people in your business and Miss Marie has 1,500, and Miss Marie's outperforming me by a large margin, is because she is doing it the right way, the commercial profitability, a lot of other things the right way. And guess what? Even though I have 3,000 people, it doesn't mean that I'm a leader. It means that there's people in my downline, Miss Marie, that are doing better than me. Those 3,000 people didn't come out because of me, right? So you can have people that are half-ass leaders that will have a large organization, but it's really fool's gold. It's going to fall apart. Why? Because I'm not setting the proper example. And it's just a matter of time before it falls apart, okay? My success is based on other people's efforts. I've by chance sponsored some people that had prior networking experience, or maybe they just got lightning in a bottle and they built a large organization. But that will only last for so long. Okay. Very seldom am I going to get a Jerry Campese, a Marie Cannon, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. The bottom line is, more times than not, I'm going to get an average guy or an average 3 or 4 people. Okay. That will make my business large themselves. Okay. So in scenario number 1, Rob's not doing 100 PV, neither is his downline. Not a good scenario. He's not a leader despite the 3,000 people in his business. Number 2 example, Rob is doing 100 PV, but his downline's not. Still got the same 3,000 people. Rob's doing 100 PV. What does that tell you? The story is, when you look at the numbers in your back office, and this is how you identify your leaders, Rob's still not a leader, even though he's doing 100 PV. Why? Because he's not setting the proper example. Okay. Rob's business is dead in water. If Miss Marie sponsored me and I have 3,000 people and she has 1,500 for a total, 1,500 hers for a total of 4,500, I make up a large portion of hers, but she don't care if I go away because I'm not making a lot of volume here. Okay. I have large numbers of people, but I'm not bringing a lot to her table. Okay. So the bottom line is that I'm not a true leader in her eyes because I'm not doing the right things. Okay. All right, so we have those 2 scenarios out of the way. You say, okay, Rob, so what is a proper leader? What jumps out at you? Okay, once again, without being redundant here, Miss Marie has 1,500 people. I have 3,000. I log in the back office and I see Miss Marie's doing 100 PV. A large portion, say 30% of her people in her downline are doing 100 PV per month, which is a really good number. If you can bat 300 in this business, you're going to be wealthy. Okay. So if she has 30% or more doing the 100 PV in her downline, she has 1,500 people, which means that basically she'll have 450 people or more throughout her organization doing the 100 PV. Well, what does that tell you? Do you realize that 450 people at 100 PV is 45,000 PV a month? That is killer, right, Miss Marie? That's killer numbers, guys. Do you realize how much money you're going to be paid on 45,000 group volume? Now, here's the thing, and I'm not going to get off track. I want to take this moment to do a golden nugget. Here's the thing. Miss Marie can have 45,000 a month in group volume, but if she doesn't have various rubies, emeralds, sapphires, diamonds in her business, she's not going to make a lot of money. She's creating a huge amount of volume, right, Miss Marie? Mm-hmm. But based on the comp plan, if she does not have leaders, because here's what the company understands, the same thing Miss Marie understands, because she's a professional business builder, it's all about leaders. Companies reward Miss Marie for doing what? Taking her time, her energy, her experience, and what? Train people to be leaders. That's why you can create a huge business volume-wise and not get paid a lot of money. Why? Because she didn't develop any leaders. Right, Miss Marie?
Yep. It's all about developing the leaders, and the leaders, along with the volume, are recognized by those rank advancements as well.
Yeah. Yes, and you're rewarded in the comp plan with all the bonuses, the trips, the cars. Guys, if you see people taking trips, free trips on the company's dollar, if they get free cars on the company's dollar, if they're getting bonus checks, multiple bonus checks at the company's expense, okay, this is above and beyond the comp plan, you can self-assure yourself that Miss Marie has earned it. That tells you that she has built a balanced business that the company is rewarding her for. And what is a balanced business? Leaders, period. Okay. Look, you've got to realize you're a business builder and you are a professional leader builder. Okay. Now I'm changing terminology a little bit, but that's what we're doing. We always tell you the essence of the business is leaders, period. You're sifting through people looking for leaders. And then the 1/3 works on the number of leaders you have, which we won't get into here. Okay. So Miss Marie, we log in. Miss Marie looks at her business, 1,500 people. She's got 450 of those people doing 100 PV or more per month. She has a very well balanced, really an extraordinarily strong business. She's put in a wonderful business foundation. Where do you think her business is going to go from here? okay, it's going to skyrocket. It's going to do that exponential growth thing that we have been talking about. It's going to catch traction. Why? Because she has so many leaders. Okay. Not everybody doing 100 PV is going to be a leader, but think about it. She's got 450 people doing 100 PV. How many? One third of 450 people. Do you realize that one third of 450 is about 120 people, 110 to 122 people? Okay. That are leaders. In other words, they've built medium to big businesses. Okay. That means that the 120 people out of 1,500 that she has in her business are creating the vast majority of income for Miss Marie. Okay. And then the one third works on that 120 people or 112, whatever it ends up being. I'm doing fast math in my head, but the point is that one third works on that number of that 120 people for the sake of argument. Now, what does that tell you? That means that that percentage of people are creating even a larger part of her business. Okay. What am I doing here? I'm telling you that when you log in your back office, you can find your leaders by looking at these numbers. Okay. In this scenario, those numbers are going to jump out at Miss Marie. Why? Because her experience tells her that the 100 PV per month is the first thing she looks at. And then when she looks at the leader and they are doing 100 PV, she automatically looks at how many people in that person's organization is doing 100 PV. And she can look at the total number because the back office will show her 1,500 people are in this organization, the Canon organization. And she can look and it'll give her a total of how many people are doing 100 PV, or she can add it up herself. Okay. And if she sees that there's over 400 people doing 100 PV in this organization of 1,500 people, she knows that this is a strong leg. She knows it's a stable leg. Why? Because it has multiple leaders. How can you say that, Rob? Because she has 450 of them in there. Okay. Right, Miss Marie? Am I not correct?
Yep, I'm totally tracking with you there. And something I want people to keep in mind too, when we're talking about looking at your organization, it's not just the business partners that you have brought into the organization. It's filtering on down through your organization. I may have brought in Rob, who brought in 3 different people, who brought in other people. You may be 5, 6, 7 levels deep in terms of the sponsoring chain before you see that leader that you're recognizing with the appropriate volume and duplicating and building correctly.
That's right. Absolutely. And so you have to realize, guys, that this is what we talked about yesterday, reading the numbers. Okay. Now I have focused on the numbers here and in this episode, because yesterday's episode ties into this one. It's the reason why I brought that up. It's vitally important that you understand that when you log into your back office, one of the first things you do to look for a leader, because nothing else matters. I just gave you an example that Rob had 3,000 people and she has 1,500. Yet I'm not a leader because I'm not doing 100 PV per month myself, or I am doing 100 PV per myself, but I'm not teaching my downline. I don't qualify as a leader, even though I have 3,000 people, because I'm not doing the right things. That's the first thing that tells Miss Marie. She knows that by reading the numbers. She's not going to waste her time calling Rob. Okay. He's already set in his ways. He has 3,000 people in his business. She's not going to be able to change. She's already brought it up before. She trained him. She told him the 100 PV is important, why it's important. I got it. I understood it, but I chose not to do it. She knows she can't waste her time, okay, with working with Rob. She cannot raise the dead. And in her eyes, I'm dead, not in a bad way. What she's saying is, I can't afford to spend the time trying to turn Rob around. What she can do is work with somebody in Rob's 3,000 person group that has stood up. She may look, that she said, 3 or 4 levels down and see that somebody down there is doing 100 PV per month themselves. Let's say Sally, and Sally's got 400 people in her business. And then let's say that out of the 400 people, Sally's got 78 doing 100 PV. Sally's a part of Rob's business. Okay. And Sally is on Miss Marie's 5th level. Okay, Miss Marie sponsored me. I'm on her 1st level, but Sally's 4 levels down. And I personally sponsored Sally, but I put her down there, okay, underneath my brother. But guess what? Sally's still in Miss Marie's organization. Why? Because she's on the 5th level of Miss Marie's. And this company pays down to 7 levels. In that scenario, Miss Marie's going to say, oh, look, I can get under Rob. I can work with Sally, who's a leader. You see what I'm saying, guys? She is logging into her business looking, she's using her knowledge and experience looking for her leaders. Where are my leaders? Why? Because she knows she's got to work with them to do what? Drive depth. Miss Marie is trying to stabilize her business. It's a critical aspect of the business. Only the true professionals who understand this business model thoroughly understand how to find these leaders, how to drive depth, the importance of driving depth, and teaching those people to drive depth. That way, Miss Marie is stabilizing that leg for a long time to come. She's going to get a residual income month after month for many years. Okay, if the company sticks around. Okay, that is another example of looking for leaders in depth, not just front line. The first thing Miss Marie's going to do when she logs in her back office, she's going to look at her front line, and rightfully so, because she personally sponsored these people. She has a relationship that's far better than anybody in depth. That's not saying she won't have a good relationship with somebody in depth. It means that she personally sponsored. She talked with them on multiple occasions. She's worked with them on multiple. She has a strong bond with those people. She's going to look at them right off the bat. Once she eliminates the leaders in that line, she goes to her second line, third line, fourth line, fifth line, sixth line, seventh line. It doesn't behoove her to go beyond the seventh level unless Miss Marie, which we won't get into, somebody on the fifth level, say Sally, leaves the company and all the people roll up, if that comp plan allows a roll up. Okay, then you'll see new people and potential new leaders there, right?
Yes, and that's the way you want to drive the duplication. And I do want to mention too, you mentioned that, driving depth, we did do an episode on depth is security. So if you want details on how that works and how to structure that well, I highly recommend going back and checking out that episode.
Right. And we did With His Wealth, and we did yesterday. We've done a lot of back office and looking at leaders and identifying and reading the numbers, because we've been talking about the business building process for a long time, guys, but this is the other side of it. This is where the knowledge comes in. Look, you can get out there and you can work 20 hours every day and do the 5 simple steps correctly, use the scale of ambition, use the threshold of profitability, music to the ears. You do all that correctly, and guess what? If you don't know what you're looking at in the back office, if you don't know how to identify your leaders and what to do when you do identify them, because right now, we've just been talking about identifying the leaders. We did do an episode, Ms. Marie, if you remember, working with your leaders, how delicate of a process that can be. And guys, you need to go back and listen to that as well. Because here's the thing, working with leaders is totally different than working with everyday people. Okay, some leaders do not want you bothering them. They say, yeah, I'm good to go, leave me alone. But we don't want to get into that. The bottom line is right now we're talking about how to identify true leaders in your business. What are the parameters? And we're talking about that right now. And Miss Marie, due to her experience, is able to read and identify the intricacies of the back office material and information so that she can get a clear picture where her business is, where her weaknesses are, because Miss Marie, and when you log in your back office, I touched on this yesterday, you got your leaders that stand out at you. They jump out at you right away, large numbers. You start looking at their personal volume. You start looking at the number of 100 PV people in their business, et cetera, et cetera. But the other thing that jumps out at you is that you have a lot of medium-sized, small businesses as well. And then you have the dead people. And I don't mean like dead, but I mean they're not creating any volume. They might order a product every month. They're basically customers, or they're not doing anything at all. Okay, guys, that's 3 different parts of what you see when you go into your business office, right, Miss Marie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead. You want to say something?
Nope. Keep going.
Okay. So you know what that is, guys? That is a visual realization of 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, playing out right there in front of you. Okay, we tell you that all the time. The numbers are going to do their thing, whether you like it or not. So when your back office starts to filter out and people start to go down, guess what? The people at the bottom of the bucket are going to be customers, going to be people that get a product every once in a while. Some people you'll never hear from again. They were there today and gone tomorrow. Okay. Some people will be around for a week and you'll never hear from them again. Some people will go and burn bright like a Halley's Comet for 2-3 weeks and then they're gone. You never hear from them again. Okay. Those are the people that are in the bottom third. And you can't worry about those people. You're not going to raise those people up from the dead. I really hate using that term, but that's really what you're trying to do. You're wasting all your valuable time and your valuable positivity on negative situation. It's not going to work. I can promise you. So the thing is, people have to raise themselves up, okay, out of that mess. And then a second part where they have those small to medium-sized businesses, that's your second third. Okay, those people haven't decided what they're going to do yet. Whether they're going to go full-time, stay part-time, or just have it as a supplemental income. They haven't decided what they're going to do. Okay, they really are in a quandary at this particular moment. And then your top performers are the leaders saying, I'm going after it. Okay, I'm going for this thing. I'm here, daggone it. I get what Marie taught me. I see this as an opportunity. I'm going for it while this company's still young and producing money that I can tap into. So that's the one third working out right there in front of your eyes. You say, why is that important? Because when Miss Marie logs into her back office and looking for leaders, she mentally knows one third is staring her back in the face. And she knows that the 97.3 is staring her back in the face. And she knows to focus in on just the leaders because she can't change the 97 percenters. Her job is to identify and work with those 3 percenters. And how do you identify them? By the 100 PV per month themselves and how many are doing it in their business. Okay, then what happens is you say, okay, is that the only thing that determines leaders? No, that is the first things that jump out at you. But if your business is starting out, like Miss Marie, this is, she's a veteran in the industry. She's with a new company. She's in phase 1, which means her initial 90-day mini blast. She's in her, say, 50th day of that mini blast. And the 90-day mini blast, obviously, is 90 days. When she locks in her back office, she knows she's in the phase 1 process, business building process. She's not going to be hard on herself or her people. And you say, Rob, what are you talking about? Well, look, she's looking for right away the people that are doing the 100 PV. We already talked about that. But the other thing that you look for as you grow and mature in this business is this: how many pin ranks is Rob's business producing? Rob's got 3,000 people. Okay, he's not doing 100 PV. He is not a leader himself because he's not willing to step up and do the 100 PV or more and set the example for his downline. But is there any pin rank advancement taking place in there? Because that's the second standard you want to look at, right, Miss Marie?
Yep, that's how you're identifying leaders in terms of how they're moving through the compensation.
There it is. Movement. There it is.
It's leaders duplicating the building of leaders.
Right. Here, exactly. And you know what pin rank of advancement identifies to you guys when you log in? Movement. And what is movement a result of? Action. Marie doesn't even have to look. She can look at Sally and see that Sally has 400 and something people in there, and she has 78 people on 100 PV or more, and she has 4 people that just broke new pin rank. What does that tell her? That Sally's on a move. Sally is working the business. Sally has taught other people how to be leaders, and those people are moving up in ranks. And so is Sally. When other people grow in ranks, so does Sally. Okay? And that's where With This Wealth works directly with depth of security. Say, what does that mean? Go back and listen to the With This Wealth. It plays right in what we're talking about. You say, why is that important? Because Sally moves up in pin rank by creating with. Because with creates wealth. Wealth is only created by what? Volume. Okay? So the thing that goes hand in hand in almost any legitimate comp plan is you got to develop leaders while you're creating volume. Right, Miss Marie? Leaders are created out of volume creation. They go hand in hand. So when Marie C. Sally has 4 new pin ranks this week, advancement in her business, and 78 people on 100 PV or more, okay, and she only has like 700 people in her business, Miss Marie's getting excited. She's going to work with Sally because she says, look, she's doing good, but she could do better. Let me contact her and say, hey, let's talk. You're doing really good. Let me help you become a focused business building machine instead of this loosey-goosey, because Sally's new. She's making mistakes. She's going like this. She's not going like this. Sally's getting like this because she's new. She has a learning curve. And that learning curve is throwing her off a little bit. Sally could be really rocking it, but she needs help. She needs guidance. She needs focus. Okay? And that's what Marie says. I got to get in touch with Sally. That's a star. Okay? That's the other thing you look at when you're looking in your business for leaders. Somebody that has a business that's producing pin rank advancement. Always remember, pin rank advancement equals action. Some people are taking action in that business. Okay. So that's the other thing you look for in this business. All right. And you say, okay, Rob, that's great. What other things do you look for? Bonuses. How many bonuses are people qualifying for? You say, well, why is that important? Because it tells Miss Marie that this person is not only creating large volume, but they have figured out somehow, some way, or they're just lucky that they are creating a balance in their business, meaning they have a proper mixture of leaders being developed while at the same time creating the volume, which qualifies them for what? Trips and bonuses. Okay, that is an indicator of what? A well-balanced business. That is a superstar in the making. Sally before was just a star. Okay, she's working her tail end off. She's still on the fence whether she's going to make it or not. Why? Because she's putting in a lot of time, which is taking time away from her family, causing extra stress. Miss Marie knows she's got to get with Sally right away so she can become the focused business building machine, which frees up time and takes a lot of stress off of Sally and allows that family situation to be better and her not to work as many hours. And now Sally's starting to have fun instead of being stressed out. Miss Marie taking that action and getting in touch with Sally and straightening her out where she's a focused business building machine instead of this now gives Sally a legitimate chance to become a superstar. Okay. And if Miss Marie does that, and all of a sudden Sally's business not only starting to pop 6, 7 pin rank advancements every 3 weeks or 4 weeks, but also Sally starting to qualify for a lot of bonuses and trips, that tells Miss Marie that she's a superstar to making because she's got a balanced business. It's taking full advantage of that comp plan. Okay. And that means that Miss Marie's really got to focus on working with Sally. Doesn't mean that Miss Marie gets in Sally's butt every day. Doesn't mean that she's contacting her every day. Doesn't mean that she's following. It means that Miss Marie saying, hey, you're doing great. You're doing fantastic. Man, you are rocking this thing. You're going to pass me up. You're doing great. Done. She's done with it. Okay. And she doesn't do that every day because Sally's going to get tired of hearing from Miss Marie. Okay. All Sally wants is acknowledgement that Miss Marie recognizes and appreciates her effort and what she's accomplishing. And if Miss Marie is smart, part of looking for your leaders and keeping those leaders, Miss Marie will send them a gift card for a 3-day getaway. She'll send them a gift card for one of the nicest restaurants in wherever Sally lives. She's going to send a card, a plaque. She's going to get something very special. Why? Because it's an investment. You can write it off on your taxes more times than not. Check with your attorney. But the bottom line is you can write this stuff off, and it's a huge boost to Sally. It mean more to Sally than any email that Marie could send her. Okay? Why is that important? How does that tie into looking for leaders? Because Miss Marie did look for leaders. And what do you think Miss Marie is going to do when Miss Marie promotes that Sally has reached this level and that level? And then Sally says, well, I'm so flattered because Miss Marie sent my husband and my family and I on a 3-day cruise. And so the people in the audience are going to be like, okay, what is that going to do to the downline? Not only is Miss Marie showing Sally how appreciative she is, what does that do for Sally's downline? Okay. It's going to motivate them and say, wow, that's awesome that Marie did that. Okay. And here's what's going to happen. Those people are going to work the tail end off to get Miss Marie's attention, believe me. So what does that mean for looking for leaders? When Miss Marie starts logging in and looking at Sally's business, what do you think Miss Marie's going to do? She's going to look below Sally. Okay. Why? Because she's looking for leaders. Right, Miss Marie?
Absolutely. So we're looking for volume. We're looking for pin ranking. Yeah. Wow, I'm getting tongue-tied. Let's try this again.
It was a technical glitch. That's what it was.
We're looking for pin rank advancement, and we're looking for bonuses. Is there anything else that we're looking for specifically as we're identifying leaders in our organization?
Yeah, the one thing you want to do at to close out the show, and I really didn't mean to take this long, is as you can tell, it's an important subject, but is if you have people leaving a business really fast, obviously there is something major going on there. And usually, Miss Marie, it's more personal. In other words, that person's pissed a lot of people off. That person's a nasty person. It doesn't have people skills. They're signing them up, but people are leaving as quick as they come in. Like they might sign up 10 people in 10 days. And then by the next 10 days, 7 of those 10 people have left. Okay. And that's a telltale sign. Okay. You definitely want to follow up with the person. Hey, are you okay? Is, what, blah, blah. And if you want, you can talk to them and see what they're saying to these people. Because more times than not, Miss Marie, it's a personality issue. They have a terrible personality, terrible attitude, terrible language, terrible posture, and it's pushing people away. And so the bottom line is that when you run into that situation, you run. You just leave it alone. Okay, so because somebody that signs 10 people up in 10 days kind of identifies themselves as a leader, especially if they're getting those people to do 100 PV right out of the gate, right? And that would make you think. But you got to realize, guys, this is a long game, not a short game. Long game, not a short game, meaning that those 10 days do not indicate the next 80 days of a 90-day mini blast and what it's going to be. Right, Miss Marie? You've been there.
Absolutely. You can have the flash in the pan, but you're looking for the long-term burn.
There it is. There it is. Okay. So, I wanted to bring that up because that's the one thing and that's kind of a waiting game. You can't jump on it right away and say, well, they lost 7 people out of the 10 they sponsored. That could be for any number of reasons. What you got to do, quote unquote, is the waiting game. But part of what I would do is follow up with them and see what their mentality is, see what their language is, see what their posture is, either on a Zoom call, phone call, whatever. And then I got to hang it up and make my notes saying, okay, boo-boo, big mistake here. Don't work with this person. You know what I'm saying? And get away from it as quick as you can, okay? Because there's nothing good going to come out of that. So that's the other thing I wanted to bring up. So those are the things you look for when you go to back office. It's very simple. Activity identifies a leader, okay? And then proper activity identifies a potential superstar.
Absolutely. And once again, this is information you are not going to hear anywhere else. No one else is talking about this. It's foundational to the success of your business.
Yes.
It's a little bit more of an advanced topic. Again, I realize a lot of our audience is just getting started, but you want to be aware of these things so you can build that success, build that proper duplication into your organization so you can achieve that level of success that you're after, as well as helping others achieve the level of success that they want.
That's right.
So as always, if you like what you're hearing, you understand the points you're making, be sure to give us a thumbs up. Let us know in the comments if you've had an aha moment. If you have any questions, we do try to get those addressed for you. And of course, please like, comment, and share across our various social media platforms. You can always find us by searching hashtag TheMLM Solution. That's hashtag TheMLM Solution. And of course, we're on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe. Register for the notifications there. You'll know when we've got new content available for you. You'll get a notification when we're live and on the air. And then, of course, be sure to visit our website, TheMLMsolution.net. Ton of valuable information there for you. Much of it free to download. Highly recommend you go check that out. And of course, share it within your organization because again, it's all about the duplication. So be sure to visit TheMLMsolution.net.
Way to go, Miss Murray. Awesome. All right, guys, we had a great topic today. Hopefully this will help you out. I want to tag on to just a little bit of what Miss Marie said. It is an advanced topic, but it's not as advanced. We don't want you to think as we part that is as advanced as we may lead on to be. And I don't mean that in a bad way. What I'm saying is that if you're doing a 90-day mini blast, you have to be able to read your back office. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. First 3 or 4 weeks, you can get away with not really understanding it. But from that point on, your last 60 days, is really going to be important in order for your business. Because when you go to phase 2, which is identifying and working with leaders, identifying and working with your leaders comes directly out of understanding the back office and what it's telling you. Your back office is telling you a story, and you got to be able to read that story by knowing what to look at. So it's not to undermine what Miss Marie said, because she's correct. It is an advanced subject. As your business gets bigger, believe me, it gets a lot more important, a lot more critical to understand those numbers correctly and take the proper action. It doesn't happen by chance. I'm going to tell you that. So with that being said, Miss Marie, let's get our butts off of here. And tomorrow at 11 a.m., as always, guys, I'm going to bring up tomorrow's subject here in a minute. Let me get there. Then let's see. Tomorrow's subject is going to be, tomorrow's podcast is number 72. Number 72, understanding your genealogy report. Man, that is a good one. Ties into what we talked about today. But usually you print out your genealogy report, which can be vastly different than what you see in some cases. Can be vastly different than what you see in your back office, can confuse the crap out of, especially if you're in a binary. You'd be like, what in the hell is this? Right, Miss Marie?
Yep. So stay tuned tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern time. We'll be here live.
Yep, you're going to learn more. All right, guys, let's get out of here. Y'all have a great day. God bless. We'll see you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel.
Thank you for listening to the MLM Solution Podcast. For more info, visit our website, TheMLM-solution.net. Please follow us on the following platforms: Facebook, YouTube, etc. And share this podcast with our fellow network marketers around the world by hitting the share button on our various platforms.